Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out drives in parallel versus drives in series. So here's the setup I've got going. The twin boost, the original, my first pedal that I designed officially as Hamilton Effects, which is two boosts in series, so one going into the other as all pedals, well, almost all pedals on a normal pedal board do. Next to it, I have the twin parallel, which is the same circuit kind of topology, but the two boosts, rather than going from one into the other, A into B, they run at the same time, and we've got a mix knob which determines whether you've got more of one or more of the other. And then for a bit of flavour, I've got an optical like vibrato thing, a dual reverb that I'm running like hard pan left and right, and then my usual HX stomp, which will be direct recording in. So let's compare these two and talk about why they're different. Okay, we're set up. The reason for doing this video is kind of two things. Firstly being that I am overhauling a bunch of my pedal design here at Hamilton Effects. And so there's a sale on throughout March of the last few bits of stock from my old batch, and the Embers has gone, so now we're down to I think one twin boost is left, so like the OG, this one, and two twin parallels are left. So yeah, I don't know how long they'll be here when this video goes live, but yeah, I think the name boost kind of might put people off a little bit because it seems quite utilitarian. Yeah, especially because a bunch of gigs nowadays, like who really needs an actual volume boost? Do you know what I mean? You know, when you could program it into your HX stomp or similar, or just use a tube screen with a slightly louder volume, or, you know, I don't actually need a volume boost, I need a volume cut because we have a silent stage, or, you know, whatever. But these pedals are way more than that. They are they're like an engineer's pedals, if you like, exploring gain staging and that kind of thing. So yeah, first one is because the sale's on. Second one is to explore them and share in depth a little bit more of what they do. So here's my clean tone. And I'll quickly whiz through the two sides of the twin boost. So the right hand side is a clean boost. Any gain that you're hearing is coming from clipping the amp at this stage. I'm actually just going to turn the mix of these reverbs down a touch. So, back to it. So yeah, we got a clean boost. Tons of volume on tap. Done another video showing this pedal into a high headroom amp. But yeah, let's go back down to a medium boost and then do the gain sweep. So a nice light overdrive there. filtering as well, so it kind of cuts a bit of low end. Now, one of the features of the twin parallel, because that came after the twin boost, is a volume attenuation, because people liked the tones that were available in the twin boost, but didn't necessarily use it as a boost. Because to run it at unity gain or similar, you have to run the volume knob next to nothing, which is kind of difficult to dial in. But anyway, on to the left side. Again, at one extreme, it's a fairly clean boost, depending on the guitar and the amp. But we have this bias knob, which changes the bias of the transistor, giving you weird gated, similar kind of things that would happen on a fuzz pedal, but on a clean boost, which obviously sounds like this. To me, it gives you that kind of fuzzy texture, but without all the wool that comes from a fuzz face kind of pedal. Or I guess other fuzzes have biases as well, but yeah, the fact that this is low gain, but with that bias control, you're getting gain in a different way. It's like compression gain. And so series pedals, as I'm sure you all know, when you stack them, you get more gain, right? It's the same thing that you would have running your blues driver into your tube screamer. The one that's second is going to kind of determine the volume of the stack, if you like especially with overdrives, you're not going to really increase volume if you add more into each other, but you're going to saturate it more, because you imagine your guitar wave and then you're clipping it and making it all distorted and then feeding it into something else that's going to clip it even more and make it even more distorted. That's what you get with the twin boost, the original twin boost. So let's find a nice left side sound. Not pushing the amp too much, not too weirdly biasy, maybe a bit. And then let's push it with the right side. On the twin boost, you can change direction, so rather than A into B, B into A, which would be like this with those sounds. It's that kind of sound that makes me think the name boost really isn't helpful, because man, if your clean sound is this, and then you step on this, I guess it takes a kind of someone who knows about gain staging and stacking to work out that actually a dual boost is going to make that kind of noise. But yeah, so that's what the twin boost is doing. Now the twin parallel, like I said, has two sounds from the twin boost in. I'm just going to see what settings we've got on here at the moment. So we have mix and volume. I'm going to set volume roughly in the middle. We have a treble cut, which I'm going to leave off for now because this doesn't have one, so for the case of comparison, and an attenuator, which I'm going to leave off as well because obviously that doesn't. The two sounds that we have then are that's this kind of sound. So all the way, what's that, anti-clockwise, you've got your right hand boost side. All the way clockwise, you've got quite a driven extreme. So yeah, all the way the other side, then you have a sound which is more similar to the left-hand side of the twin boost. And then with the twin parallel, you can blend them all the way in the middle. Oh, that's still got them both on, that's why it's so distorted. So this is mostly the right hand side, which is cleaner. Then as you blend in that kind of grittier side, I really like that for rhythmic stuff. You retain the attack and clarity and the quickness of the cleaner side, you know, that kind of attack that happens there, but you get the texture and drive tone from the left-hand side. So yeah, that's the twin boost, that's the twin parallel. They're not going to be around in this form for much longer because, like I said, Hamilton Effects is getting an overhaul. These pedals are 30% off on the Hamilton Effects website because it's my 30th birthday at the end of the month. And yeah, to hear new stuff, I will be at the Noisemaker Market at the end of March as well. So it'll be great to see you there. There's a link to get tickets in the description. And cheers. Right, I'm going to play you out.